3 people disappearing in one night. Is that possible? Oh yeah, it is. Now check this out. We got a lot coming up next, and you're gonna be surprised. The question of the day is, what does Stephen King, the author Stephen King, have in common with the creator of Hannibal, Bryan Fuller? Coming up next. Bam!
Nothing I said in this broadcast is true.
Welcome to Idaho. Take a look over here. Lewiston-Clarkston State College was created by, you can see that. And that is Snake River down there, everybody. What does author Stephen King and the creator of Hannibal, Bryan Fuller, have in common? I'm going to tell you what. The movie Salem's Lot. In 1979, Stephen King's books, Salem's Lot, turned into a miniseries starring David Soul from Starsky and Hutch. Well, during the time that movie came out, in this town, people were disappearing. So this little small town right here, the late 70s and 80s, was terrorized by a stranger, just like Salem's Lot. A stranger comes to town and people were disappearing. Cute college town, safe, quiet. But yet 3 people disappearing in one night? How could that be? Now everybody, I want you to subscribe and like this channel and share it out to somebody you think that'll like it too. Now, in the late 70s through the mid 80s, there was a serial killer lurking terrorizing this area. That's right, terrorizing this area. People were afraid to go out, they were afraid to do things. Just like 1979, the miniseries from Stephen King, starring David Soul from Starsky and Hutch. What happened? A man moved to this town, and supposedly the town knew who was doing the killings, but they never could prove it. He ended up moving out of town, never convicted for the crimes. I'm not going to get all the details about that, but I am going to take you to the locations where 3 people disappeared in one night. So let's go check it out. Right over here behind me, I'm going to show this to you. Right over here, this is Lewiston Civic Theater right behind us, right up here. I got prepared for you guys up here because I don't want to mess this up. But you know what? 3 people disappeared in one night in this location. So right here is a Civic Theater. Wow. On the night of September 12, 1982, 35-year-old Stephen Purcell was dropped off at the Lewiston Civic Theater. And that night, he worked here, Stephen, and he was actually going to do his laundry here. Now, Stephen did enter the building right here, but disappeared. And all that was left of Stephen was his clarinet. Now, on that same night, Jacqueline Brandy Miller, 18 years old, and her stepsister, Christina Nelson, 21 years old, both also disappeared that night. They were on their way to Safeway, but for some reason they were stopping right here at the Lewiston Civic Theater. Now, those 2 women, their bodies were found in 1983, about 27 miles northeast of Lewiston. Stephen's body was never found. Just think of it. A stranger comes to town, people start disappearing, just like the miniseries Salem's Lot in 1979. The town was scared to come out. The town kind of knew who was doing it, but they couldn't prove it. Makes you think. If only these walls could talk, huh? Some people at first thought Stephen was the killer, but they couldn't prove it because his body was never found, but the two girls were. But I guess later on it was proven he was not the killer. I'll take you to a couple more locations. Let's go check out where the girls lived. So right here, this is the home of Jacqueline Brandy Miller, 18 years old. That was the home where she was living right before she went to the theater. So both girls were hanging at Christine's house right down here. And that night, Christine left a note on the door for her boyfriend saying that she'll be back. She went to Safeway. But for some reason, the girls ended up at the theater. Nobody knows why or what happened. The only thing that was known, their body was found in '83. Stop right there. Check out our other playlist that we have over here. Click here, click there, click there, click there. And don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell to be notified.